Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched WWE Monday Night Raw episode 1390, which was broadcast on January 13th, 2020. For one of the first times in a while, I'm recording this right after watching the episode because I'm pretty hyped up from the last like half hour or so of it. It was the last half hour was really, really good, I thought, and there's a couple of stretches of the show that were also pretty awesome. So overall, I thought this was a great episode of Monday Night Raw. It's the best episode of the year so far. It's the second episode of the year, but man, I am really digging it. Like most of the stuff that's going into over towards the Royal Rumble. Which is just over or just less. It's less than 2 weeks away. It's 13 days away, and I am super excited for that. But anyway, okay, we open up with Randy Orton. He invites AJ Styles to the ring. They're supposed to have a match against each other, but then Drew McIntyre comes out and he wants in on that action. So it is a triple threat. It becomes a triple threat. And the Orange County interferes. The OC interferes before the commercial break, but they get hit by RKOs and a Claymore, an RKO and a Claymore, each of them with one of those. But Drew, after the commercial break, he eventually wins via hitting via the Claymore delivered to AJ Styles. So that's a great victory for Drew. I am absolutely rooting for Drew McIntyre to win the Royal Rumble, or Randy Orton. A lot of people seem resigned to the fact, or they seem to have, they've resigned them to the idea. It's not a fact that Roman Reigns is going to win the Royal Rumble. But I don't think that's going to happen, because him challenging Bray Wyatt, that doesn't have to be a result of the Royal Rumble, winning the Royal Rumble. It's too soon for that to transition to that, I think, because they've just been getting into the Usos just joined him to go up against the Bobby Roode, Dolph Ziggler, and King Corbin. But so I don't think that makes the most sense story-wise. It's not interesting. I think the most interesting thing would be for Drew McIntyre or Randy Orton to win, and they're going after Brock Lesnar. Either one of those matches, I've been ever since Randy Orton returned and challenged Brock Lesnar at Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam in 2016. I wanted to see a rematch of that because of how brutal and devastating that ending was. I want to see them go head to head again, and why not have that happen at WrestleMania? But anyway, we'll see what happens with that. Seth backstage says some stuff to AOP, and I just couldn't stop thinking about his black glove. What's he hiding under that glove? And it's on his right hand, if that means anything. I was thinking maybe it's an unfair advantage, and this was all, they knew this fist fight was going to happen all along, and this was all leading up to that. But jumping forward, it did not play, that black glove did not play into the fist fight at all. But that's okay, because some amazing stuff happened in that fist fight anyway. Okay, Mojo Rawley versus Ricochet. Ricochet hit 630 senton and won the match. He also hit the what is his other move called? The Rick shot. It's not called that. It's called recoil. That's right. It's like a half code breaker. But anyway, Ricochet wins, and then Charlotte faces Sarah Logan. Sarah Logan has this brand new attitude, lots of confidence, all that, but then she taps out to the figure eight. Okay, so Charlotte Flair won. I mean, I get that, but why, like, have Sarah, I don't know. Having Sarah Logan come out with this newfound confidence, or renewed confidence, boosted confidence, and all that, and this attitude, and then she just loses. I don't think, how is that helping anybody? I don't know. But it was good to see another women's match on screen that's just the women. I mean, we have women involved in some of the other stories. Well, one other story. But to have, and it has nothing to do with the championships, that at least it's something. It's more than just having the one storyline about the championship and that's it, which we had. That's well, maybe not even that much. A couple of weeks in the past month, but anyway, Joe and Kevin are backstage. Joe is trying to talk down Kevin about, he's trying to calm him down about knowing anything about the rules. He's like, don't worry about the rules, it's fine, whatever. And then Big Show comes in, he's like, yeah, stop worrying about the rules, it's fine, whatever. And they should have worried about the rules, maybe. Brock Lesnar comes out with Paul Heyman. Lots of boos, lots of chants of you suck. And Paul Heyman says, my client does not suck. And then he says some other stuff. He said there's a new streak going on, and that's his spoilers. And the spoiler he's talking about now is that Brock Lesnar is going to last all the way. You know, I wouldn't mind if Brock did that either. Like, that would be pretty interesting, because then what? Like, all these okay, so you're fighting the Royal Rumble for a WrestleMania championship match, but if the champion wins the Royal Rumble, then it's basically him saying, Al, I don't have to defend it at WrestleMania then, because nobody is able to beat me here. Nobody is able to earn that opportunity. So I get to just, do whatever. But maybe if he did do that, turn us around, says, okay, now I get to pick my challenger. I get to challenge somebody. I get to pick whatever opponent I want. And then it could be something like really interesting, exciting, or something that's really disappointing because it's somebody that we're not all that familiar with or whatever, or it's Cain Velasquez again. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with all of that. Okay. Let's see. Paul Heyman says, only the truth flows from my mouth. And R-Truth comes out. And he said, thanks for calling me out here. Or asking me to come out or whatever. R-Truth says he will be in the Rumble. And then he's a big man. But Paul Heyman's going to go over that top rope. And Paul's like, what? I'm not in the Rumble. It's Brock Lesnar. It's in the Rumble. And then R-Truth says, I withdraw. I undeclare from the Rumble match. I wasn't listening. You talk a lot, he says to Paul. And that was pretty great. R-Truth says to Brock Lesnar, what's up? And then starts singing along to his theme song. And Brock Lesnar attacks him, hits the F5, and says, that's what's up. Throws it for a second there. Thought I was going to go for a pin. He is going to become the 24/7 champion. Brocky tubes up 2 belts. It would have been, it would have been weird. It would have been interesting. I don't know. It would have been something. But he just threw that green and gold thing back at R-Truth and goes on his way. After commercials, R-Truth is getting help to the back when Mojo Rawley makes his return to the arena to attack R-Truth, pins him, and wins the 24/7 title. And he says, I'm not running away. And then we don't see anything. I guess nobody ended up chasing him or anything, because we don't see him the whole rest of the night. So he must have actually ran away. I mean, that's a valid strategy. Say you're not going to run away and then actually run away. It seems to have been successful so far anyway. Then we had Lashley versus Rusev, but Liv Morgan was not at ringside. She said she was going to be in Rusev's corner last week. So this whole time I kept asking, where's Liv Morgan? Where's Liv Morgan? Where is Liv Morgan? I don't care what's happening. Liv Morgan isn't out here. Everything is falling apart. But Lana tries to distract Rusev by getting up on the apron, saying stuff and all that, but is unsuccessful. And then Liv Morgan finally appears. She goes after Lana, but everybody's all paying attention to that. And Lashley gets the jump on Rusev, and he hits him with a spear, and he wins. But this is after Liv Morgan gets a soda from an audience member thrown at her. Not by the audience member. Lana stole the soda from him. She grabbed it from him. 3, 2, 1 soda grab. Throws it at her. And then throws her back at that guy, but like not actually at that guy, at the barricade that the guy was behind. And yeah, pretty rude of Lana there. Interview backstage. She challenges Rusev and Liv to a mixed tag team match. Rusev and Liv have a response to that, but before that, we have the Viking Raiders versus anyone who will be put down, and those who are put down are the Singh brothers. And I joked that since they're doing their whole Bollywood spiel with their camera, their Super 8 camera and all that, I joked that they're getting ready to, they're about to film, they're about to make a snuff film. And it was pretty accurate. They got destroyed by the Viking Raiders very, very quickly. Rusev and Lana appear on screen. They're backstage, and Rusev says, "You're both a waste of breath, a waste of my breath," which is a different meaning. I didn't ever think of it as being. Well, I guess I have heard of it used in that way. But I thought it was a waste of their, like that them breathing was a waste, which is a little bit more harsh, I guess. But it also makes sense to not be worth talking about. But anyway, they accept the challenge, and Liv Morgan says, "I'm the living embodiment of your karma, and not only is karma a goddess." Okay, now that does make sense because karma is okay. So I thought that she was just. At first, I was thinking there's already a goddess. It's Alexa Bliss, of course, or no, or is it Mandy Rose? Has Mandy Rose she's been called a goddess too, I think. I guess all of them. I don't know, but maybe she's run for. I feel like maybe I have heard of goddess being or karma being the name of an actual god, not an actual goddess, but. I think maybe she is talking about Adrestia, who is she who cannot be escaped, daughter of Ares and Aphrodite. So that might be the goddess. I guess could be considered the goddess of karma. She's of revolt, just retribution, and sublime balance between good and evil. Maybe, kind of. I don't know. That might be what she was referring to, or she's just calling herself a goddess. But then she also said that karma is an actual B word. I could have just said it, but I don't know why I didn't just say it. I thought that she was just gonna it threw me off that she said the goddess thing. Like wait, I thought she was gonna say she's a bitch. But anyway, yeah, Liv Morgan's fired up, and that could be a pretty interesting match. I'm surprised that this match isn't happening at the Royal Rumble, which leads me to believe, because this match didn't happen at the Royal Rumble or at WrestleMania. It should have been saved for WrestleMania. Like, just keep it going. And then finally they fight again at WrestleMania. And they are probably going to still be fighting at WrestleMania. But since this mixed match is happening next week, I feel like it's probably going to end in some type of disqualification or something, and then it'll end up being a ladder match or something like that at the Royal Rumble. And that could be pretty great. I'm not going to lie. I would really enjoy that. But we are getting a ladder match next week. Andrade versus Rey Mysterio for the United States Championship. That's going to be pretty cool. That's exciting. And I kind of want to look up where I don't know where Raw is next week, but I kind of want to go to that just for that match if I can. I don't know where Raw is next week, but anyway, we then have Becky and Asuka sign their contracts. Kairi comes out with Asuka, and she starts poking Becky with her umbrella, and Becky's like, "Get out of here!" No, not just the umbrella. You get out, get out. So they sign the contracts, and then Asuka hits Becky with the green mist, and she just loses it. Is screaming in pain, all that, and then she cuts an awesome promo while blinded and being helped out of the ring, and she's delivering it to the camera and all that, and all that's like really cool. And it's you don't really see anything like that in WWE, and I thought it was great, and I'm really excited for that match. And I tweeted, Becky, I've talked about this before. Becky, wear your goggles. Just have your goggles on the whole time. The whole time. Just wear your goggles the whole time, and then you have nothing to worry about at all. Like, that's obviously what Asuka's could be trying to do to you. So just wear your goggles all the time. You don't have to worry about it. And don't, like, do the tough thing. Like, I don't need to wear goggles because I'm going to prove that I'm a better wrestler. No. It's not wrestling, so like counteract it, like make it a non-factor. We'll see what happens. As with everything, we'll see what happens. Okay. And that brings us to, like, I really like that. And then like all of the rest of the show, I really like too. So really it was like the last 45 minutes of the show was pretty great. But anyway, we have, Buddy Murphy versus Aleister Black, Part 3. Another fantastic match between these two. Just watch it. I didn't take specific notes for really any of it except for the end. So Buddy Murphy's shoulder, he got his shoulder up a little bit, I guess, although on the replay they showed it from a vantage point where you can't see his shoulders at all, so I don't know what that was about. But he Aleister Black didn't get a pinfall after Black Mass. I think that might have been the first time that has happened in WWE, like overall from NXT and WWE. I think that's the first time that has happened. People have been like in like a multi-man match and stuff, like people have broken them out of it. But anyway, so I don't know if that was intentional. I feel like maybe it was. I don't know. I don't know if that was meant to happen or not. But he hit him with another Black Mass right after that, got the win, and Buddy Murphy is devastated. So he's just sitting there outside of the ring, like just losing his mind. It seemed like there's just like in his head, like why can't I beat him? I don't know. Whatever his thoughts might be, it seemed like he was troubled for sure. And he was still out there during the next match. It was a very brief match between Eric Rowan and some local guy. Eric Rowan was trying to show the guy what's in his cage, and Rowan goes to reach inside to get what was in the cage, and it bites him or something, and so his hand ends up all bloody. And he delivers the Iron Claw, so it's a bloody Iron Claw to his opponent. He's like, I just wanted to show you, blah, blah, blah. And he kills him and wins the match. And then we have our main event, and there's only 10 minutes to go. I was like, this is going to be quick, or we're going to go overtime, and it's going to be epic or whatever. It was great. I was skeptical that this was going to be weird, dumb, whatever. I think everybody was wondering, like, what the heck is it even what is this? This is just nonsense, whatever. But I thought it was awesome. We had a pro skater move from Kevin Owens. He ran up the quarter pipe stage wall, LED wall, and hit a senton onto the AOP. That was amazing. Samoa Joe hit a running senton off the stage through a table. That was great. Big Show is doing all kinds of stuff, fighting Seth, but Buddy Murphy was still out there, troubled as hell, and Seth, like, he's getting his ass handed to him by Big Show, and he ends up falling over near Buddy Murphy. He's like, help us, Buddy. And Buddy, he's still trying, but he's like, huh? Oh, what's going on? I should go back. Charlie Caruso tried to interview Buddy Murphy during or right before Eric Rowan's match, and Buddy is like, not right now, Charlie. Not right now, Charlie. He didn't get that mad, but Charlie like patted him on the arm and like, okay, I'm sorry. I thought that was kind of nice. Usually Charlie is like really rude. Well, it was rude for her to go over to him to begin with, but it was nice to see her like be kind of like warm-hearted. I don't know, instead of just trying to stir crap and push people's buttons. But maybe she was pushing his buttons. Maybe that planted the seeds. I don't know. But Buddy Murphy does help Seth. He hits Big Show right in the Big Show, and that turns the tables, literally turns the table, so that they can put Big Show through it eventually. After the AOP puts Kevin and Joe through a table over by the stage, and they hit, and then Seth Rollins hits the curb stomp on the Big Show, and the referee declares AOP and Seth Rollins as the winner. They hold their hands up. Buddy Murphy just standing off to the side like, yeah, that was pretty good. We did a good job there. And then after Seth gives hugs to his buddies, he turns to Buddy Murphy, offers him a hug too, and it's a big old Messiah hug, and everybody's happy in the ring. Everybody else in the arena is not so happy about it, or maybe they were excited. I think it's pretty great that Buddy Murphy joined them, and I was kind of worried that they were gonna like right away beat him up too. I'm glad they brought him into the fold. I think it's going to be really interesting. So there you go. We finally have a 4-man faction on Raw. We don't have a 4-man faction on SmackDown yet. We're pretty close. We're just one person away from either the Bloodline being a 4-person faction, or what's his name, Dolph Ziggler, Bobby Roode, Robert Roode, and King Corbin. If they just find one more guy, they're good to go as well. Meanwhile, over on NXT, it's all about the 4-man factions. We got the Undisputed Era, of course. We've got Gallus, we've got Imperium, and that's it, really. No, Gallus isn't a 4-man group. They're close to it, but after what happens with the whole thing with Dragunov, and he caused more pain for he caused more pain for Joe Coffey than he didn't intend to cause him any pain, but he knocked Alexander Wolf over into him and all that, and that didn't work out so well. But anyway, yeah, I am really excited. I like how this is unfolding. I even enjoyed the Rusev and Liv. Of course I enjoyed Rusev and Liv. I even enjoyed the Lashley and Lana stuff. Instead of like a straight up recap of what happens last week, it was cut into an interview from earlier in the evening, and I thought that was pretty cool. It was a different way to present that. There's a lot of different stuff that they tried in this episode, and I really liked all of it that I noticed anyway. And there might have been stuff that was completely new and different that they tried that I didn't even notice. And if that's the case, that I'd say that those things were good too, because I didn't even realize they were happening. Like, they didn't stick. Oh, another really great thing that I liked, before Charlotte and Sarah fought, we had a Street Profits backstage segment. It wasn't a Monday after weekend update thing, but they did kind of recap things. And what was going to be going on later on in the night. And then he goes, all right, you and the whatever, I think he said their name. He's like, hit Charlotte's music. And then they hit Charlotte's music. And I really like that. So yeah, stuff like kind of tying together, overlapping action, the Buddy Murphy stuff going from his match, overlapping the match that happened after it, and then continuing into the main event. But that was fantastic. And there's just a lot of that kind of stuff throughout. I mean, there were other things like AJ and Randy and Drew, that after that opening segment, that was it. That was it from them for the whole night. But that kind of like made it its own little episode within the episode. And then you let the Seth and all that stuff. Usually we would have that open the show from how they've structured it for the last, forever. But instead they saved that until after this first chunk. And I thought that worked really well. You get the fan favorite, like 3 like really top guys, but they're not in this main event thing. Just have their own chunk of the show. It's complete. That like 20-30 minutes is complete, and it's good to go. So yeah, that's it. That's my thoughts on this episode of Raw. I really liked it. So since this is episode 1390, I think I counted correctly, and I believe it's that March 23rd will be episode 1400. So I assume that they're going to do something special for that. Last year they didn't do anything. No, the year before that they didn't do anything special for episode 1300 because it was like it was literally a week after WrestleMania. So there's like no build up for anything. And I think they maybe like mentioned it, but it wasn't like a big old special episode or anything like this. Now, since it's 2 weeks before WrestleMania, it could absolutely be like a really special episode. And I hope that it is. I don't know if that location has been announced yet, but just a heads up, all you out there, and for myself, keep an eye out for the March 23rd episode of Raw, where that will take place, because it is episode 1400. I think, if I counted correctly. I might be off by a week or two, but I think it's right. But yeah, so that's it. I'm excited. I'm excited for the rest of this week. I'm going to be flying out for NXT again, which is always so much fun. So I'll have an episode about that a little bit later on. I still haven't recorded my episode about last week's new comics, but I will have that recorded in the next like 24 hours, I think. I was trying to read a whole bunch of them, but I'm gonna just talk about what I have read from it, and before too long, I'll be caught up on everything that I can talk. That I'll hopefully be able to talk about everything each week. But I'll be talking about what's coming up this week, what's coming out this Wednesday, and all of that in that episode. So stay tuned for that. That will be the next episode in the feed here. So yeah, let me know what you thought about this episode of Monday Night Raw by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIW Go to TIW Podcast. I just accidentally licked my microphone when I was doing that. Luckily, this wind protector, this windscreen thing is like brand new, so it's not. I don't feel too gross having accidentally licked it. But anyway, go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you like to listen. Stay safe out there in all the infinite multiverses. I'll see you next time here on TIW Podcast. Bye.